YouTube? It is Damien. It is the Rise of a Nation. It is episode 53, and today we have got two massive games. We have got Fehervar in the second Euro Cup qualifying round, and hopefully in our first ever game in Europe, we will go out there and get a result. There is some massive news here. A lot of things have happened. There's players on the ins, there's players on the outs, and there is a lot of things happening in between all of that as well. First thing I'm going to say, I'm not going to be at my most fluent best. I have a bit of tonsillitis, but we're trying to push through because this is too important not to stream. Secondly, we are live on stream and we're dedicated to it, so you should be following it. Links are down below. As usual, I usually come back with the opening game of the season, but I'm going to start, not just there, but I'm going to start with, how the team looks and everything like that. Season preview-wise, we are predicted, for the first time ever, not to be bottom and not to be 1,000 to 1. We are predicted to finish 8 at 150 to 1. We look obviously quite good, and we have done amazingly in the window so far, but there's definitely some better things to happen in the window as well. The reason why I say that is that there's money to be spent. If you look at the finances here, we're up and about. You can kind of already know who's left. It is Damiano. We knew that was happening. It was getting to the stage that no one was making an offer, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then I tried to offer him a contract, and he said he was just going to let his contract run down and leave on a free. And I was like, well, no. So I listed him for 1.5 million. I had PSG, Inter, Napoli, Roma, VAFC from League Two and thing. Bayern Munich will offer for him. In the end, Damiano did leave to go to, I believe it was Inter. It was. We also saw Ben Nielsen didn't have like the greatest loan, but not the worst loan ever. I just don't think he's going to be good enough anymore. So we sold him and got off his wage as well. Nicholas Ramilson the same there. And we loaned out Matthias Madsen. I still think this guy's quite good. And I've just decided that these sort of guys like Lars Friss is developing really well on his first loan. He's actually playing at Silkeborg, who just got promoted from the league below. So he's actually playing in the Superliga at 17. I think this guy's going to be incredible. I really do. But I think with him sitting here on the bench, he's not going to develop. Him at least playing on a side that's probably going to be relegated, probably this season. Even if he gets himself 5 or so goals, but he plays in most of those games, he is there on a first, as a regular starter contract. He's going to develop. If those physicals can go, what a player to have. Unfortunately, we've done this and he's gone, and we got some team news and it's not good. And same with Henry Dust. Dust deserves to go as well. He's actually gone to FC Honka there in the Finnish Premier Division. And good luck to Dust. He's playing first team football there. And he's another one of the guys that I hope he develops, because I think there's something about Dust as well. On the ins, though, we have to go back to the day before, and we have to go all the way to here. And we made a couple of big signings early on in the window. The first one is Thomas, and Thomas is here with the intention of loaning him out. But at 16 years of age, with those sort of 16 finishing, 16 composure, and he's also decently physical at 6 foot, was the hot prospect when we signed him, until we signed another player that we're going to talk about a little bit later as well. Did play off the bench in the last game, came off the bench and scored on his debut. It was a tap in from 6 yards. He did miss 2 one-on-ones as well. So he could have really had a really good debut, but he was not too bad. And then we signed Christopher Johansson, and he started because Kenny was suspended, but this guy is unbelievable. He played a lot of games for Bromby, and Bromby kind of turned around and said, mate, we're transferring this in here for 42k. I couldn't believe it. The fact he wanted to come as a squad player kind of shows you what level of footballer we are, what level of footballer we can attract when we have the money. And he's just really good passer of the football, can play ball winning midfield even though he's not the greatest tackler, because he sits in the right areas usually. He's physical, and he played really well in the opening day. Match rating's a little bit broken, but he did nothing wrong, and he was solid and exactly what we needed to sign him for as well. In terms of our other signings here, though, we're just going to go. Jon Anderson is the youth prospect here, 16 years of age, was released by AAB, which I found surprising. Took a couple of their players, is the new hot prospect at the club. Great mentals at a young age, can pass the ball, he's got great vision and very good physicals as well. Expect to see this guy in and around the first team. I think he's going to be incredible, and if he has a really good year this year, who knows where he's going to be in a year or two's time. He probably could be someone that's really good for us to hopefully pick up as well. Pick up some money or play in the first team. We also sound Kalud from AAB as well. Released 5-star potential goalkeeper. He's going to be the new backup here. Might try and loan out our other keeper, Rosenborg, for some first team football, because it probably will help him. But yeah, another good little pickup. And then the two main signings, Jose Maria, I'm going to talk about first. We needed another centre back at the club. He's coming back from a damaged Achilles tendon. He was released by Atletico Palomo, and you may remember that we found a couple of those regions from there as well. Missed out on a couple of massive regions too. One namely from called Santos from Real Madrid. First thing I will say though, look how good this guy could be. Ball playing defender on defend, does lack the physicals in terms of speed, but apart from that, jumping reach, determination, fairly decent technically at 19 years of age, like most Spaniards are. I expect to see this guy rotated in and out, and who knows, with a little bit of development, probably better than Bubba. So one for the future, definitely keep an eye on. Start noticing we're paying people a lot more to come here, 2K a week, but we've got money in the club to actually do this now. But yeah, we missed out on a guy called Santos, unfortunately. He should be at... he went to Levante. It might be easier just to search Levante because there's a lot of people called Santos, but Levante. He went to Levante, unfortunately for us. And if we go to their transfer history, to sign him on a free. There he is here. We were the first club to go in for him. He would have been the new left winger here. And it's the sort of thing that he took a while and had a lot of bids, and he just didn't come in, unfortunately for us. We've tried to sign a left mid, and I haven't been able to find the right one of yet. If it comes to the stage, I will not sign one, mainly because our preseason form was really good. However, lastly, Santos probably the biggest one that we missed out on for. We did miss out on a couple of others. There was a winger that went to Leipzig as well, that played on the left-hand side too, Leipzig. And he signed they signed this guy here. Where is he? They signed Flemingen. Went after Flemingen as well. He was released from AAB too. Don't know why AAB was releasing this guy. He's unbelievable. Chose to go to Leipzig over me. We went in first. Leipzig said, yep, not a problem. And yeah, I can't offer 6K a week for a 17-year-old, and Leipzig can, and that was probably the difference. So a bit annoying there, but then our last signing is a signing that people may know, especially in Asian football. I just thought we have so many young kids. It's about time we got some experience in. Tristan Doe was on a free to come from a Thailandese club, a Thailand club. And he's just so well-rounded. He's Damiano, just that little bit better technically, but not as good physically, not as good mentally. Still very good mentally, though. That just kind of shows you how good Damiano was before he left. It's going to be sad without having Damiano here, an Italian-Australian like myself. But yeah, 32 years of age, great natural fitness. This is a guy that, if Callum Roberts, is ever going to develop the New Zealander that we have here, learning under this guy for the next couple of years at 32 to 34 and tutoring him, if he doesn't learn, then he's never going to learn. So it's a signing with that in mind that in 2 years' time, I'm hoping Mr. Roberts will be able to go out there and hopefully do a job and develop. And that's kind of where we're going with the club. If we go and have a look at Mr. Cameron Roberts, you look at him and go, yes, he could be a good footballer, but yes, he makes so many mistakes. With match ratings being so poor as well, it doesn't help him either. But with Damiano, even though match ratings are poor, he still got sevens and he's looked good on the ball. Cameron, every time he played for us back a couple of seasons ago, he looked out of his depth. Hopefully this year, learning off a more experienced right back, this guy can now develop into a better footballer. What else do we need to have to talk about here as well? We saw on the outs that Damiano left, and it kind of just shows you how good Damiano was, right? That he's gone to Inter. Like, look at him. He is unbelievably good. I would imagine even at Inter, he could be their best prospect. He's not. He would be close. But yeah, Damiano obviously just mentally was unbelievable. Look how so many yellows. He was quick as well, and he was so good at defending. I am going to really miss him. I thought he was really good. And if match ratings weren't broken, he would have averaged a 7.8 and 8.0 last year. He was unbelievable defensively for us as well. In terms of that, though, we played on the opening against Saunders and we won 3-0. I will recap you the goals. Big news, though. Zahora. I literally said it before the game. I said the one spot we haven't really upgraded in is striker. Zahora is usually naturally fit, is what I said, and usually doesn't get injured. For our first ever game in Europe, Zahora is going to be out. He broke his ribs and is going to be out for a little bit. The only thing that saves us is there should be an international break in this time frame to help him recover. But our whole qualifying campaign is going to be without Zahora, and that ain't good. Notably, though, I don't want to sign a proper oh my God, another great striker at the club, because then you get that problem that Zahora is going to come back in and want to come back in. He's on big money, and then we sign a new star striker. How do you fit him in both? You probably don't, unless the one can play left wing and striker, which would have been Santos from Real Madrid. In the end, though, Niall Jenkins can play left mid, but can play up front. has been in and around the Australian squad, but hasn't played for Australia, been captain on the 20 level. I have got a contract into him. It may look a little bit weird, a little bit like, oh, he's not the greatest technically. The only thing I see about him is determination, great physicals for this level, and FC Midtjylland and Copenhagen have been literally fighting over him the whole time. Copenhagen still want him, but Midtjylland have kind of dropped their interest. And when I was seeing this, I'm like, nah, I've got to pick him up, put him on a trial. As soon as they said that, yep, he was great on trial, I was like, perfect, get him in. Plus, I love an Australian. Being an Australian, sure, why not? But I just think with those physicals, if he develops, he's already 3-star. If he turns into a 4-star player, right, he's going to be really good. Plus, he can also provide cover on the left. I feel like signing someone like this on the left that can play on the left, can play in the hole and play up front benefits me more than signing another star strike. And there we go. Yes, that might sacrifice us in the league and it could hurt us in this qualifying campaign, but the damage is already done when you lose a Hora anyway. You're never going to be able to replace, 30 goals a season / just the ability to turn a game on its head in a nutshell. In the end, though, we will recap the first day of the season results as well. As you can see, we won 3-0 here against Saunders, and pre-season in itself was a breeze. We did not lose a game. We played all Superliga sides, apart from Federica and Esbjerg. We drew against Esbjerg. We were 2-0 up, and I took the whole first team off because obviously we have the season coming up, and I love when Football Manager does this. I'll just show you the results here quickly. So Bromby won 4-0, Randers 4-0, Saunders 2-0. Copenhagen played a rotated side, so don't read too much into that. Beat Federica and were 2-0 up, as you can see here. Took them off after Zahora scored to make it 2-0. Conceded 2 goals, one really late to draw there, but a pretty good pre-season, and we obviously played quite well. We scored inside a minute, and it was Zahora, and I literally said, perfect, great start. Inside a minute, Zahora scored. He looks at his brilliant best. Broke his ribs. If there's ever a time for the shoe to step up, it's today, because I've already made my mind up. I'm playing the shoe. Anyway, Suleiman, Bubnajar, good ball there. The Hook's not known for scoring ability, but he does score in there, and it's good to see. The Hook has really made this box-to-box midfielding position his own. And as you can see, the new 16-year-old signing there in Beauregard getting a 6-yard tap-in from a set piece, which is really good, and he missed a couple big chances too. But there we go. In terms of the teams, Zahora's going to make way. I'm going to bring the Elk to the bench. Don't mind all this. We have so many people here on trials having a look at them. But the Shoe is someone that is going to go up top. I just think this man, right, he scored 4 goals last year in the league, 2 goals in the year before, 17, 23, plays for the club. But how many of these goals here are in big moments? He's just a big game player, boys. And the Shoe's going to be out there. Also important to note, this Fir side did pretty well. They finished second in the league the last 2 years. And their key player is worth 1.2 million. And their vice captain is worth a little bit as well. And if you go to the pre-game odds, they're known as a vertical tiki-taka system as well. And I think the pre-game odds had them as pretty even to us. In terms of the odds for the game as well. We've sold about 3,000 to 10,000 capacity. That's fine. They reckon we should fully rotate, but that's because I am doing what I always do, which is resting people. Frederick Anderson is not going to make the bench here today, I don't think. Unfortunate for Frederick. He could change the game on its head, but we also can have one of these two guys playing the whole as well. To be fair, a big game, big moment. The other Anderson will miss out. And Kenny will come back into the team, which is perfect. With Yeppy there. So it's going to be Rob, Doe, Fernandez, Christensen, Armstrong, Kenny the Hook, Bubnajar, Hansen. Suleiman's going to start. Suleiman has become quite natural playing with Finley as well, and is the reason why I have not rushed to sign a left mid. Pre-season form so good. Suleiman's been playing quite well, so good luck to him as well. The Shoe, though, has a chance to just become the even bigger cult hero than what he is. It's in the stars. Zahora gets injured. The Shoe's going to come in. It's got our first ever goal in a European competition. It is how it's going to go. We're going to submit this team. Score prediction in the chat. A squad play needs to be given a 1. It is the Elk. Elk did have the 18. He's no longer going to have it. I'm going to give him the 28. And there we go. And hopefully we go out here and do a job. Give me a big game. And hopefully it'll be okay. How are you, Burger? Big signings, 4-0 win. Locks reckons we'll win 4-0. Big signings. Big nil, yeah, good signing. Locks reckons we win 2-1. Away goals could be really, really interesting. Into the game we go, and then we're going to be back with the second leg of this episode as well. We'll recap the Bromby game as well. We beat them 4-0 in pre-season, but that was with a recognised striker up front. I think in the league I will play either the Elk or Beauregard until we sign Neil Jacobson up top, the Australian. And the Australian won't be able to be registered for this tie. We are going to ask the assistant here. They're lining up 4-2-3-1. Just to recap how good their team is, Rokov is a very good keeper. I think on paper they're a better team than us, but we just have such a good understanding of the football that we play that we can beat teams like this. It's like playing a Copenhagen or a FC Midtjylland or an AAB, really, for our level. They're really quite decent, and one of the hardest ties. Our next tie, though, would be a lot significantly easier. We're either going to get a Georgian or Azerbaijan side. That's all I remember. I don't remember their names. So knowing that if we were to get through today's tie, or through the two games, we would probably get an easier third round draw. We've avoided a few of the bigger boys. Started quite well, so I'm going to move us into positive. 60% of the ball, 2 shots, 1. But I'm guessing without Zahora, we're going to be a little bit legless up top. But in the end, Kenny's just got himself sent off. Going to have to move to that, and a box-to-box midfielder, and a ball-winning midfielder on defend. Right. 10 men inside 20 minutes. Wow. Now it's all about, I'll take a 0-0 draw right now. I would take a 0-0 draw right now. Kenny gets himself sent off. So we're going to move into this counter system, really eat away some of the clock here and just let this gun kind of tick away and then leave ourselves 90 minutes in hostile conditions over in Hungary, as this side is Hungarian, to hopefully do a job. We get into 0-0 here at half time. Take the pressure off. I'm going to tell him, have faith is what I'm going to say. Didn't mean to slate the shoe there, but there we go. We haven't done anything since they're sending off, and they're starting to really dominate us now. They've gone more attacking, but there was a game about 3 years ago where we went like this, and the shoe scored a hat-trick in this system, so you never know. Anyway, it's a highlight set piece one time. Yeppy, ball in. Keeper misses it. He hit the bar. No. Keeper came, and I think it was Bubba hit the bar. Oh, it would have been massive for us to score then. Would have been huge. Anyway, as it stands, I don't particularly want to go for it, but at some stage I would not mind trying to. Anyway, the shoe gets there and he leaves it back to Doe. I don't particularly like seeing highlights like this. I'd rather see another set piece. Anyway, the shoe yet again picks it up, loses out. And this might be their first chance of this game. Anyway, ball's headed away by Tony Christian. Suleiman's quick enough to maybe get there and finds the shoe. Holds it up well. Armstrong now. We just need to find a good ball arm. Don't lose it here. Don't. Tony, Yeppy, he's good on the ball. We need to get a ball out. We don't find it. The shoe doesn't make enough of it. And that is going to be them on the re-break. Just not enough movement up top. That's pretty much it. But that's what happens when you're playing with 10 men. Just, if they get an away goal, it's just curtains, isn't it? Re-end, bull, pull you. Big moment. Fuck me. Big moment. Big moment. Big moment. Trouble in paradise. Trouble in paradise. Kenny's red card has left us in the lurch and we're 1-0 down in our first ever game in Europe. We're dominating the game too till the red card. In the end, it's an effort from distance. It's a good hit. He's never missing that, and there we are. And now we just kind of have to get back to level terms if we can with 10 men. This leaves us at risk to maybe get ourselves done and dusted here late doors. We're going to bring the Elcon late doors as well to see if we can do something here. But I feel like this is just going to tick away and be a 1-0 loss. Yeah, it's going to make it very difficult for us. We hit the bar with 10 men. We lose 1-0. We lose 1-0. I'm far from pleased. At home, dominating. Kenny gets himself sent off. And we are staring, going out in our first ever game, first ever tie in the Champions League, in the Euro 2 League, whatever it is. Our first ever game in Europe. We lose 1-0 at home. Milford suspended. Fine a week's wages. And yeah, wow. Don't know what that means for us. No Zahora as well. I don't know what's going to happen here. We need to find at least a goal and a clean sheet to take it extra time. Can we go out there? 2 away goals could be massive for us. Who knows what's going to happen? I feel like we dominated the game till the red card as well, which is really, really, really annoying. But yeah, it is what it is. And I'll see you guys on the other side of this Bromby game to see how we're going to go in our second ever game in Europe. We're going to have to turn it around. We'll find out if we can. I'll see you in a second. Welcome back, YouTube. It is time to find out if someone will step up to be a hero or we are going out in our first ever European tie. We played Bromby and we did get a 1-0 win. I'm actually going to back out and go straight back in and hope that works. We scored really late in a game. I wouldn't say we dominated, but we had a better the chances. In the end, the Elk off the bench, and the reason why we brought him off the bench, mainly because of the physicality of him, right? Just the super sub did the job late doors. Frederick Anderson as well came off the bench and played an unreal ball into his path, but the speed of the Elk to get here before the keeper, unreal. And in a game we definitely deserve to get something out of. I love Football Manager. They need to patch that and patch match ratings. To get something out of, it was good. Collier found Anderson, ball, keeper came, the Elk got there first and tapped it around and put it in. It was a great game. We are 2-0 in the league. It is good to see. However, we have got this side here. Apparently, we should be going attacking, trying to dominate the opponent. I'm not going to do it. However, I am going to go with this team. The Hook's going to go in the ball winning midfielder swap with Yeppy going box to box, his preferred role. Federic's a big game player. He won us a cup final. He got a goal and assist that day. He's a big game player. Nothing bigger than being 1-0 down in a European tie. I have faith in the Elk, and hopefully the Elk will come in and do a job. We got the shoe on the bench to just be the shoe and just come in and do something magical. And we have a few of the other lads on the bench as well. Give me a score prediction in the chat. It is now time to find out. Have we got what it takes to get through a European tie, or are we just short? I'm going to say it right now. Zahora doesn't get injured. We would have smacked them in the first leg. Even with 10 men, we would have smacked them in the first leg. But we don't have Zahora. We have Bumnajar, Jensen, the Hook, Christensen, Fernandez, and who knows, maybe the Elka Anderson could do a job up top. We submit the team. Lockers reckons we're going to win this game 3-1 away from home and go through. Important to know, the fact that we only lost 1-0. We win today at minimum extra time. If not, we win on away goals. 1-0, extra time, we win. Right? Extra time if we win 1-0. We win 2-1, 3-2, 3-1, 4-3, 4-2, we're through. Lose or draw today, though, it is out. And sometimes it just makes it easier in an away league, knowing that if you have to win, you may as well go for it. I was tempted to play the 4-2-4, not going to lie here as well. Reason I haven't, I feel like if we play 4-2-4, get hit on the break and concede, it's probably day done. At least in this 4-2-3-1, we can dominate the game a little bit more if they allow us to. And if that happens and we get a goal, great. And if it doesn't, and if they do get a goal while we're trying to dominate, then we can go 4-2-4 and say, hey, we have to score 2 goals. We might as well go for it, right? In the end, we owe them after last time. Just no one gets sent off, please. Just really don't. Going to do what we had to do. We had 60% of the ball, 4 early chances before Kenny got suspended. It's not ideal. I think he can last the full match, the Elk, and hopefully it'll be okay. It's us in the white, it's them in the red. They have the 1 goal advantage, but we are SFB. We're this little old Danish side, we're this little young Danish side founded in 2018. We know nothing better than going out there and fighting for the badge, and that's what we're going to do. Game has started fairly evenly, and look, if it stays even, that's fine. I'm going to move us to positive pretty quick, because look, at the end of the day, we have to force the issue. Frederick Anderson on the ball. His long ball looking for the Elk, doesn't find him. It would have been tremendous if the Elk got on that, but there's no chance. And Rokov to go long, and he does. Can we bring it down? We do. Bubba does well, and Bum the Jar doesn't really commit, and Rian finds Hosic, and it's a good ball, and they've got runners on this right-hand side for them. It's a decent ball into the path. We have to stop this ball coming in, Finley. He does it. It deflects and falls to him, and it's in. It deflects off Finley to the front stick, and we're 1-0 down. And we're just up against it. In their own right, they're a very decent team. They finish second or first every year in Hungary, and we're here because, well, at the end of the day, we won the league. We won the cup, not because we finished second or first in the league. So there we are. Just unfortunately 1-0 down. And it just kind of sums us up. We need a goal for half time. I'll go 4-2-4 if I have to eventually. If they score now, it's game over. It's gone over the bar. But I think this is all she said and wrote. Not having Zora's hurt us, not having a recognised striker, but you never know, there might be enough time to still do something. Suleiman now, he loses out. We're good enough to play football, boys, we know this. Tony Christensen, though, gets on the ball, and he has Bubba, and he has the keeper, and he finds Robert. And look, if we can get one before half time, it's going to leave us 45 minutes for one more. Do. Gets on it, bum the jar. We need Do's experience here. What a ball to Suleiman. Not known for his goal-scoring ability. Finds the elk. He was smart. He's not known for his goal-scoring ability. Instead, he lays it to the elk. And who knows, it might just be the elk's day. All this means now, boys, it is going to be settled in the 90 minutes because we have an away goal. One more for us, and they need to score. One more for them, we need two. It's as simple as that. In the end, a great ball from Bum the Jar. Suleiman timed the run, and the presence of mind from the youngster to lay it to the elk. Maybe we don't need another left winger. Maybe Suleiman is the guy. Maybe he will be okay. But we will find out. Anderson not having his best of game in the hole, but he could turn it on a dime. 40-odd minutes played, and we just need one goal, boys. One goal from somewhere. At half-time, it is even Steven. We have 45 minutes for a goal. I'm delighted, boys. We never die. We never give in. And now we have 45 minutes for it. It's a highlight from kickoff. I'm not going to switch 4-2-4 too late. I feel like the 4-2-3-1 will come up clutch. Bum the jar from kickoff. Beats a couple. The elk. Lays. The hook. Elk. Can't find it. Suleiman. Anderson. Keeper came and didn't get there. What a save. He came and stopped, and I thought he had enough of an angle to score. What a save from their keeper. And Rokov to keep it at 1-1. What a moment. We're starting to really dominate this game. We're starting to eke it. Can we find a goal? Time is ticking. The system is working. And it's a highlight here for Finley Armstrong. Suleiman now takes a touch. He lays it back to Finley. Can whip an early ball maybe. Instead he finds the hook. The hook now can't afford to lose it. And that ball is poor. Tony does well enough in the end. That from the hook, from a man of, Finnish international experience, it's got to be better. Do, the new signing, the Taiwanese, still going. His ball in decent, cleared away, flicked away, and now Bubba picks it up. They're struggling to get out of their half. We smell blood. Bubba, the hook, the voice is going, but it doesn't really matter. Bubba again, still going. Looks, Anderson doesn't get up, falls to him. Maybe they will go on the break now with Hodzic, and he's been really good, this guy. Still got a lot of people around him, but he's held it up nice. Doviden now on the overlap as Pulu beats one, hits it. Are you fucking serious? That whole highlight, the whole time they couldn't get out. They get one ball, Hodzic holds it up, and see you later, they score. Look, as much as we're dominating the game like this, we're going to have to go to it. The shoe's going to have to get out there. It's now or never. It's now or never. Suleiman's having a good game. I'm going to leave him out there, though. It's now or never. We need 2 goals late, boys. 2 goals late. Wow, man. Dominated after half-time. They've done nothing the whole time, and they've literally just gone in one chance. See you later. Dude gets beat way too easy. And there we are. Moved it to up top. If there's ever a time to get a goal quickly, it is now, boys. Time is ticking. It is not happening. The hook for Johansson. Johansson's actually going to come in here and is just going to go a bit more on attack, I think. And Yeppy is just going to have license to get forward as well. I think actually we might go to a ball-winning midfielder on support. Leave it like that. We'll do that. Going to take us a little bit more direct. Bit more wider. We're going to have to go over the top. If we get one, I believe. If we get one before the 85th, I believe. But we have to get it now. Time is ticking. Football Manager, if there's ever a time. Nah, we're out. We need it now or never. It's all she wrote, boys. We're out in our first ever European tie. We're going to taste disappointment. Over the 2 legs. Is it naive to make me say that I thought we were slightly better than them? Maybe. If you look at the first leg, dominated the first 20 minutes till Kenny gets sent off. And that's the difference, really. I think we're only out because one of our better midfielders decides to go double-footed for someone. Really. Feel like that first leg, there were 11 men, we score, we win. Feel like if we had Zahora here today, we score, we win. In the end, it just wasn't meant to be. After going 1-0 down, we got the desired response. We dominated. The highlight that they scored from, the whole highlight was us peppering, and then one ball, and this Hodzic guy was perfect. was perfect. He's decent, the Bosnian. There's nothing wrong as a Bosnian international. He's good. He's better than what we've got. But literally, it was just him hold a ball up for their second goal. Just annoying. Just annoying. No foul. Should have maybe committed a foul. It's just one of those ones. It's one of those ones where you look at it and just go, that highlight really should have been ours and a chance for us, and we just didn't pull the trigger. That is an annoying one. We didn't do ourselves justice at all. We really should have got through to the next round. On paper, they're probably a better side. There's not much you can really do about it. It was a hard draw. But I do feel with Zahora or no red card in the first leg, and we get through that. And that's just a bit of disappointment. And that's the learning curve. That's the learning curve we have. Now we go back to the drawing board. We go back to fighting on the domestic front. We get 77k for playing in that, and who knows where we will be in terms of European football next year. The club vision, we're going to not meet an expectation for the first time in a very long time here at the club. Be very interesting to see if they recognise that they're a better footballing team than us or not. We did have a very difficult draw, I thought out of everyone that we could have got, it was one of the more difficult ones, and it just proved to be too difficult without Zahora. Right, look at him. Champion, second. And the keeper made a big save too after halftime. That goes in from Anderson. We're 2-1 up. Who knows? It is what it is. From Damon and everyone else here, I'll see you next time. In terms of episodes now, you guys have seen a bit of the league now for the first couple of years, that I might give you like the sporadic game through the league, and then if it starts becoming an effort where we're fighting for the title, or we're having to stay in the six or whatever, I'll start showing a few more games. If not, if it just becomes like, we're just grinding, we're going to, finish top six easy, show you one or two, then get to the promotion league, or if it shows you that it's going to be, whatever, then yeah, I'll do that. But that is just annoying. Without a red card in the first leg, or with Zahora fit, we get through that tie. Unfortunately, with no recognised striker, 10 men in the first leg. We still hit the bar in the first leg too with 10 men. And I have a big save from their keeper at 1-1, and then to concede when it looked like being our own highlight for the first minute of that highlight was us. Ball. Couldn't get the pass. Ball. Couldn't get the pass. Didn't want to pull the trigger. Didn't want to have a hit. One of those ones, boys. We'll look back at that. But not too far off. Our first ever European taste ends in defeat. But it will only make us stronger. And next time in Europe, we will strive to do better. I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.